Let's see. Want to make sure. All right, you all. Hope you can hear me. I'm going live, of course, again today. Let's make sure we have a good connection. So, all right. Okay, I can hear myself over here. Perfect. Okay. So I am going live today. I do believe I told you all that I was coming back. I will be back on Friday. So we're going to talk about my visit to the White House. Went to the White House. It was for the Black History Month event. And so, with that, I want to talk about and share some things that, of course, the president said about Black Americans. I know there was some things like he did say some African Americans, and some people are like, no, we're not African American. And hopefully he'll retire. He'll retire saying that. But he did honor Jesse Jackson. We know Reverend Jesse Jackson just transitioned right before, so he did speak on that at the White House at the beginning of the presentation of the event. So with that though, we're going to cover some things. I wanted to cover some things because uh, we are definitely being included right now with this current administration in some ways, right? We have the upcoming a decision from the Supreme Court on the clarification and interpretation of the 14th Amendment. We must keep that front and center and making sure people understand exactly what's happening with the 14th Amendment, right? And how at this present point in time, they're saying anybody that can come here and have a baby on the soil that they are citizens. And we know that is not how the the correct interpretation of the 14th Amendment, and that's not how it was written and intended to go about or be applied, we should say, here in America. But I'm going to start off. This is titled Black Americans History is American History, Past, Present, Future is Ours. And I want to make sure we understand that there's only one ethnic group of Black Americans in this country. And I know other people are now coming to America and they're saying, I am Black American too. No, Black Americans have been here. We're native to the soil. We are not immigrants. We do not become naturalized. We are born native, made on this soil via slavery and the ethnogenesis that we experienced as a people group via slavery. So I just want to make sure we clarify. And this is why I was speaking on identity, Black identity politics in our last live, and I'm going to continue to speak on it in this live or on this recording as well. But for right now, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you all some of the, we're going to listen to snippets of the speech that President Trump gave during the White House event. And I'm going to kind of build on that. I'll show you some photos of me as well at the event with some of the other ladies from Chicago Flips Red. And we'll talk about some things about that as well, what we're seeing, what we're witnessing, and things of that nature. I really want to get into a conversation that I had with some other at the event. Now, these individuals, they were both, well, they're saying they're Republicans now, but one is an ex-liberal that has now came over. I think she's still, or maybe she's independent, but she is, still working with Republicans and things of that nature. And I'm all about policy, right? Even though I will say, I don't hide it. I am a Republican. I call myself a radical Republican. So with that, I do push policy for our people first. That's most important. Policy over party. And we're seeing this allegiance to parties over policy for our collective. So, or founding population of Americans, right? The Freedmen. But I want to show this. I'm going to show this, and then we're going to get into some of the videos or snippets of the video of his presentation at the White House. So they made this in black and white. I kind of like it. I know some people are like, it's trying to make it seem like we're back in the 60s or whatever. But you know what? Having a nice different angle on some things, I like this. I really like this. But here he states nearly 10,000 African Americans, and this is what people were saying. Okay, we're not African Americans, and I'm with them, Trump. We're not African Americans, but they're switching it up. African Americans to Black Americans. But at the end of the day, we know who is who, right? We know all of these terms apply to who? The freedmen. And let me stop sharing it. I am doing this presentation again in I am Black history. Okay, we are Black history. We are the Black people of America, and we are Black history. All right. So I'm sorry, I had to do that one more time. One more again. I had to show you that I am doing this live again in this particular t-shirt, because it is Black History Month. And I just came back from the Black History Month event at the White House. So with that, I'll go back to sharing my screen and see what he states in the beginning of his presentation to us at the White House. Let me see. Is this sharing on? Make sure we're in StreamYard. Okay. So on the live. So you see that he states what he states, right? One of the things I'm going to do is give this president and this current administration some credibility and give them credit, because they are honoring and they are speaking on us in ways that other past administrations would have never done or did do. And I'm talking specifically about the Biden-Harris administration. They did not speak on us at all. We were non-existent. It's still, it was all about the immigrants, right? Everything was about the immigrants. So nearly 10,000 African Americans fought for the patriot cause in the Revolutionary War. Black Americans have stepped forward to defend the flag and to defend our country like few others. Okay. All right. That gets me. Hey, I'm like, that's an acknowledgement. That is truth as well. That is facts, right? The history states that. Now, I'm going to come on down. I think it's down here where there's another snippet of him, and it is, maybe it's back up. Let me stop sharing. It might be quicker to go that way. I want you all to hear some more things that he said that I think is important. And a lot of people will tell you that, you know what, he's just talking to y'all. He's not going to do anything. He's steady erasing your history at the same time that he claims that he's saying these things to you. Well, I'm going to say this. Who should be controlling our narrative of our history? Who should be controlling? Have people, freedmen, right there next to the president that can speak to him about our history, right? And how offensive this is actually destroying our history. I really don't think that's the case. I really believe that's the propaganda of the left, that they want to keep us in a space. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how the left likes to keep us in a space and then at the same time not give you any credibility. They won't state to you that you have some equity in your own country. They still want to treat you like you the immigrant and have the immigrants come in on top of you. So anyway, we're going to get into it. So here it is. I put it out on X. I was at the Black History Month event. You can see some of the pictures here that I took with some of the individuals that are in the administration. They snapped me while I was still talking to Lynn, as you can see, and the guy in the back, but it's cute. It's organic, right? This is organic. This is us being at the White House. You see the pardon czar, Miss Alice Marie, straight out of Memphis, Tennessee, right? Another Tennessean. And we got Scott Bessett. You know who we're about that money. We're about that money, so we had to get him in on in a pic. And then let's see. I think there was someone else. Oh, I did record a little live. You see that on the other side. You see Chicago Flips Red. They're in there. They're chatting and yelling at me in the back to get my attention. And then we have Miss Dillion. She's over the Civil Rights Division. We took a picture with her. I have some more pictures. These are just some that I decided to share out on there with the live and scanning the room. Okay. So now we're going to go to actually some things that he said. That's where I want to get to. I wanted to share those pics because I did put those out there to show that I did go. I was there live and in color. Okay. But anyway, I want to show you what he stated in the speech while I was there. And it's a snippet from Fox. I didn't go and pull it from the White House actual recording of the event, but this was what they recorded live. So hold on, I'm gonna share my screen. I want you all to hear what President Trump has to say again about us. This has been consistent. This is all I'm going to say. Going to consistent about us, acknowledging us, and then this also being Americans first, right? If you're not understanding, he's saying Americans first. And thank you. She said I look blacktastic. I appreciate that. So, but here I want you to see or hear what he has to say. So we're gonna play. Let's see. Let's go. I'm gonna rewind. Make sure it's at the beginning. Okay.
But we thank God for the strength. But we thank God for the strength. But we thank God for the strength and courage and grit and devotion of Black Americans who have helped make America the most powerful country in the history of the world. But we thank God for the strength and courage and grit and devotion of Black Americans who have helped make America the most powerful country in the history of the world.
Okay.
But we thank God.
We're going to hold that, right? I want that specifically because that is going to go into our discussion today, right? That's equity. You're a stockholder here. We are stockholders of America. This is how I'm going to frame it for us today. So you have a sitting president acknowledging that you're a major stockholder of America. Okay? Hold that premise. Now we're going to get to the next video because I think what he says in the next video is also important. Because what we're seeing and witnessing, there is an attack on Black America. There is an attack on our Black identity, our culture, anything dealing with us, we are being attacked. It's coming, and a lot of it's coming from the left. It's been coming from the left. So, but anyway, at the same time they getting your votes, they out here attacking you. Anyway, but anyway, we're gonna get into literally, we get it from the right here and there too. So, but anyway, it's really coming from the left. So let's
happy this Black Happy Black History Month, Happy Black History Year, and Happy Black History Century. Thank you all. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, I'm gonna replay it one more time. One more again.
Happy Black History Month, Happy Black History Year, and Happy Black History Century. Thank you all. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, I had a great time. I'm not in red. The food was good. It was good last year. It was good again this year. Enjoyed networking and meeting with some people. But again, I'm all about policy, right? I'm all about policy for our people and how are we going to make sure that we are taken care of. Now, what I see from this president is that he's acknowledging us and he's making sure that we're included as Americans first. And in that, making sure that we're included, I think it's time for us to understand that we need to be at the table speaking for ourselves, not these politicians, so-called politicians that you voted into office because they're quiet. Black leadership is not saying a word. We don't hear anything from Black leadership. And even with this event. You know, there was some individuals on the Republican side that were there. However, again, I want to state, and this is where I'm going, Black leadership. We are, I'm gonna set up this organizational chart, the U.S. organizational chart. I want you all to see what's at the top of the organizational chart. Okay. We are part of the United States Constitution, are we not? And I'm looking at it as we are major stakeholders in this country. And our sitting president in this administration right now is saying to you that you are a major stakeholder in this country. I hope you all understand what I'm saying when I say that, meaning that we're integral. We have equity here. We're major assets here. We were the first stock of America to generate its wealth. Not the immigrants, whether they're legal or illegal. I don't. At this point in time, we're gonna have to talk about it. And this part of this Black identity politics is all of a sudden everybody is one big Black Negro, and everybody gets credit for certain things. That's not how this goes. It's just not how it works. Okay, I want to bring up this organizational chart because I had a conversation with other individuals, and I mean, they were good conversations, but I kind of felt like they were saying that we have to operate as if we're a liability, as if we at a deficit to America when we are a part of the shareholders and we have equal equity in America. Maybe a little bit more more than others. When I say more than others, I look at it as we have three founding populations of America, three different ethnic groups, if you want to call it that, if you want to say that, because we do have the Amerindians, or we have the Native tribes, then we have us, right, the Freedmen, Black Americans, or the free people of color, which some of us are that, and in slavery, freedmen, either way, we all became one. And then we also have the settlers, which are the Mayflowers, the Wasp, and now, they were the three. I mean, we're the three, right? Because that's where slavery began. So here, I want you to see the organizational chart, because at the top of the organizational chart is the Constitution. The Constitution lays everything out for our organization of our government, right? We are part of that Constitution. And we know there are specific parts of the Constitution, whether it's 3/5, right? When they were attempting to, when they created the Constitution and we were considered majority property, they still wanted to count us, but it was still, we were counted for elections as, okay, you have so many slaves, so they 3/5, right? Something sort of like that, right? So anyway, now we are a founding population of Americans in the United States in the Constitution, and we definitely know the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments came about because of what happened in American history, which is also Black American history, right? So we know that the Fourth Amendment, and I'm gonna keep harping on it. The 14th Amendment was created due to the emancipation and the Civil War. We know our colored troops fought in the Civil War and helped save America, right? Okay, we know this to be true. This is a part of American history. We have a president that documented in his historical documents that he needed the slaves, or he needed the slaves. He needed to do something about slavery because he needed some help on the Union side fighting the Confederates. He stated it. Abraham Lincoln. It stated. Oh, I can go find it. Oh, I can go find it. Because somebody gonna say, no, that ain't how that went down. Oh, yep. That's how it went down. So we literally really freed ourselves. Right? So, and then we saved America because they were fighting to keep people in bondage, fighting to keep people one side, one major side, right, was fighting to keep people in bondage. We can say that. They didn't want to let the slavery go. So they said, I'm gonna fight for it. That's, I mean, literally, right? So and then the thing about it is, I'm gonna get to it. Oh my gosh. So now, you know, we have where we have beings, whether they're on the Democratic side or whether they're on the Republican side. What I'm noticing is there are beings that like to take us out of the equation as stakeholders in this country. They want to tell us that we don't have any equity or we're not assets to making sure this country are integral to this country and its stance. Meaning, we have been here working to make sure America becomes a first world nation and a superpower. And now we're being told that we're not supposed to reap any rewards from the work that we've done here in America. That we should think about what we're doing and operate in retrieving what is ours at a deficit. We're a deficit, right? We're at a deficit. There's nothing here that's ours. And we should always start over, right? Like we are the immigrants. And then the immigrants get to come here and take what is ours. And they have not put any work, time, energy, anything into America, but they get to receive the rewards and the benefits, but we're not supposed to. That's kind of how I took the conversation. And I'm going to get a little bit more into it. But I want to show you where it is stated by President Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln. He stated it. I'm going to show it. I'm going to put it on my screen. And you can go locate it yourself in the his presidential library online. This is where I got it from. It's not anything new. This is part of the history that is American history, that is Black American history or Freedmen history, okay? And we know how we got Black. We've always been told we are Black. The racial social construct was to harm and injure the freedmen, right? Black codes, Jim Crow. But anyway, I'm not gonna focus on that. I want you to all read this. He says, my paramount object in this struggle is to save the Union, and is not either to save or to destroy slavery. If I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it. Or if I could save it by freeing all the slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I will also do that. But what I do about slavery and the colored race, I do because I believe it helps to save the Union. I have here stated my purpose according to my view of official duty, and I intend no modification of my oft-expressed personal wish that all men everywhere could be free. Okay. You got it right here. All right. So there you go. All right. I'm going to get off of that. But you have it here. You can share with your children. We freed ourselves and we saved America. And the sitting president, Abraham Lincoln, literally stated he wished all men to be free. He didn't want to have to do all of that, but he had to so that they could save the Union, because the Confederates at the time were saying, no, we're going to keep the slavery. We want to keep the slavery. We want to keep these people in bondage. Now, Fast forward to today. This is our past history. This is our past history. We're now presently in a space. Our past does affect our present, and our present will affect our future, what's going forward. What we do in this present moment will definitely decide what happens in our future for us, our children, our offspring, our descendants going forward. And so that's why I'm like going hard, you all. I'm going hard because we are at a precipice in this country. We're at a very pivotal moment in our history where we can do some things for ourselves, specifically for us. Has nothing to do with anybody else. They're not even deserving of anything here, first and foremost. When I hear that the majority of individuals attending Harvard today are not the descendants or not freedmen, when the freedmen ancestors built Harvard, and it is the recent arrivals who melanated immigrants, and then they're coming here telling us we're not worthy of what is ours because they're supposedly more intelligent and they have better education. We get it all on X now. They talking big time on X. Oh yeah, they bragging. Mind you, that's ours. We're the stakeholders here in America. We're the major stakeholders. Remember, we're the first stock of America to build its wealth. Right? We have equity here. We fought in the Civil War. We saved America. We fought in every war in this country. The president just acknowledged you're integral. You're patriots of this country. Right? So what I'm trying to figure out why everyone keeps trying to inform us that we have to operate at a deficit, as if we are the degenerates of this country when we are major players in this country, major stakeholders, major asset, right? We got equity and assets in this country. And the assets can be intellectual property from our inventions, innovations that people are utilizing today, our music, everybody want to grab hold of and claim that they are a part of hip hop and they did hip hop. Come on now. Y'all hear me? You feel me what I'm talking about, right? You got individuals now coming here and stating that anything that is ours, they're coming under our identity and claiming they're Black too. No, you're not Black. You can't be Black. The racial social construct in America was created specifically to harm and injure the freedmen. That's why we had Jim Crow. There were laws specifically made against our people in the South. Now, this is where I want to go. Okay, so the conversation I had with some individuals was about the different parties, right? You got the Republicans and you got the Democrats. We know that our ancestors, the majority of them were Republicans back in the day, right? We know that they were all Republicans. They voted Republicans. And with that, they helped start the Republican Party in certain areas of the United States, right? We know this to be true. Now, in the conversation, I was speaking about, how we are going to make sure we help people get out to vote for the midterms. And I was speaking about how Chicago, right? The people in Chicago, the activists and advocates in Chicago have been doing work, right? They have been out there with the people, talking to the people, going up against their elected officials that are not doing for the people, and they elected them to do for the people, but instead they're doing for immigrants. And now they're increasing their taxes and things of that nature, right? But the thing about it was, I was like, they need in order to really do the work, because I've done the work, I know how it goes, they need money. They need some money. They need some backing of the Republican Party. And so in the conversation, it was told to me, well, you got to prove yourself. Okay. All right. Improve ourselves. And then the other individual that is former liberal states that, well, you've been voting Democrat for the last 60 years. Nobody's just going to help you at this point in time. You got to prove yourself. I said, okay. Well, didn't we prove ourselves with helping the president become president and get our people out to vote? Because there was an increase in Black men voting for President Trump. Not Black women, supposedly, but still, we voted. I voted for him anyway. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there. But basically, there was a change. There was an increase, and we were out there attempting to get our people to vote more for Trump. Under even though he's a Republican. So I was told we got to work harder. Okay. All right. I have a problem with that. I still have a problem with that. You know why I have a problem with it? Because no matter what we do, we always got to work harder. Even though we prove, we can prove things, right? There was a 22% increase in people in Chicago voting for Trump. Now, when we was out there stomping for Trump, I know individuals said, "Hey, we had that money. We could have flipped the state of Illinois. We could have flipped a lot of places." Right? Okay, so you got to prove yourself. Okay, we said we proved ourselves. Midterms is coming up. You still gotta, you didn't do that certain percentage that they really needed, that 30%. So you really didn't meet the metric. Moving the needle. Okay. Now, I'm gonna say I want to say this. I do believe both parties play us. That's why I'm all about policy. Both of them playing us. Right? Both of them. And what I mean by that, okay. So we were voting majority Republican, our ancestors were, after slavery. We had our ancestors that became senators, right? You remember all the Black men that became senators and became politically active right after slavery? And they were removed from their posts, from their positions, right? They were disenfranchised from engaging right after slavery. I think there was only one that was able to serve out his full term, and that was he became the register secretary. Wait a minute. What did Bruce? Let's see. He became Quesco out of slavery. He did. I think he was the only one that was able to serve the entire time. Blanche, if y'all know who I'm talking about, Blanche Bruce was the only one that was elected and able to serve his entire 4 years coming out of slavery, right? So I'll let me share my screen so you all know who I'm talking about, right? So we have where we literally had individuals from our community ready to engage in politics, and then they were being disenfranchised. And also with that, the major thing that I was speaking on with these individuals is that the compromise of 1877, the Republicans were in with us, right? Most of them were abolitionists. Everything was working well. They were protecting us. The 14th Amendment, all of that had come about. And we were getting into a rhythm, right? And becoming, we thought we were becoming whole, full citizens, right? Well, then all of a sudden, there was the whole presidential thing, the compromise of 1877. And in the compromise of 1877, then they decided, okay, we're going to give back to the Confederates and the Democrats over in the South, and the Republican Party abandoned us, right? They abandoned our ancestors, but yet and still, we still voted Republican even after that for multiple years. 75 years, I think. 75 years. We still voted Republican even after they abandoned us. Okay. Now that I was telling them that even now today, because one was saying you still vote Democrat the majority of the time. Well, and we know the Democrats are not treating us well either, right? No policy for us. If you get policy, as y'all know, Kamala Harris said it. You get any policy, it's gonna be for everybody, not just you, socialists. But anyway, so I wanted to highlight this because let me see the compromise of 18, so we can make sure we understand it. I've gone over it before, but I'm gonna just go ahead and go over it again because basically I feel like both parties are playing us, and when we fight over party instead of policy, then we are doing ourselves a disservice. And I will say that I do think and feel that when we fight for party over policy instead of what is best for us, then it only takes us out of the equation. And then we are subjugating ourselves to the ideology of these parties. Right? So, okay, I'm going to show this and then I'm going to get back to what I really want to say. I'm going to show this because this is history. This is what happened. This ushered in Jim Crow. Because all of our protections for our ancestors were removed. And then here we go. We're on this, we're ping pong again. Back into this ping pong of which direction should we go? Even though we had our own Black men that came out of slavery, that was ready to take on politics and lead our communities. Okay? I have to highlight that. And we've had them since too. But now it's just, oh my gosh. Anyway, oh Lord. Okay, so the Compromise of 1877 was an informal agreement between Southern Democrats and allies of the Republican Rutherford Hayes to settle the result of the 1876 presidential election and mark the end of the Reconstruction era. Okay. Y'all read that, right? Y'all reading this along with me? It's on the History Channel. They marked the end of the Reconstruction era. Let's just move on and forget about what happened for 246 years and making sure that we had what we needed, right? As another group of Americans. 14th Amendment protections in the 14th Amendment. But anyway, so it says immediately after the presidential election 1876, it became clear that the outcome of the race hinged largely on the disputed returns from Florida, Louisiana, South Carolina. So these were Reconstruction era Republican governments still in power. And as a bipartisan congressional commission debated over the outcome in the early 1877, allies of the Republican Party candidate Rutherford Hayes met in secret with moderate Southern Democrats in order to negotiate acceptance of Hayes' election. Okay, and I'm going to just go on. It says the Democrats agreed not to block Hayes' victory on the condition that the Republicans withdraw all federal troops from the South, thus consolidating Democratic control over the region. I'm just saying. Both of them ain't neither one of them. So I don't know. I'm not gonna fight for either. I'm a radical Republican because right now the Republicans are winning. I'm going on the winning team. I don't see the Democrats ever winning again. I don't want them to ever win again because they have a whole history of making sure that they indoctrinate our people, abuse our people. And I say our people, I mean the freedmen. And who else could be here? Nobody else was here but us and the native tribes. And we know they were doing their own thing because they were not full-fledged American citizens until 1924. So it's always been really about the racial social construct of black and white. So, but I'm just being real. It's here. Even Lincoln said it. He said the colored race. It's the colored troops, right? But anyway, so I want to say that we have equity, a lot of equity in this country as stakeholders because we have fought every war, right? We also have innovations and inventions that are assets in this country that our federal government utilizes today, right? We know about Miss Gladys West of the GPS global positioning system. She did that while she was in the government. And they give her credit at the Department of War. Look her up if you didn't see it. I think I've advertised it before here on it. I mean, on the YouTube Live. But I did. We can honor her. This is real technology that we're utilizing today. And she's now an ancestor. She just transitioned back in January, but she worked on that and did that way back when in the 50s. I think 50s and the 60s. We have other ancestors, and even today we still have, and I'm going to speak about James West. If you all don't know who James West is, I'll tell you about James West. We're going to feature him because I was just on a webinar with him and his daughter. Yeah, oh my gosh, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm just getting chills. Anyway, okay, so we have helped American culture. We are all about justice. And making sure, America kind of steer itself in a way because we already know America can go over here and go over here. Ooh, I mean, both parties. So, but the one thing about the Democrats is they've been consistent in making sure they go against us. The Democrat Party has been making sure they are consistent in taking us out of our country now, or making sure that we are not stakeholders in our country. They want you to believe that you are a liability and that you have to operate at a deficit when we're around, right? Didn't Biden say America's doomed because of us? And then want us to get under the Latinos, Hispanics at that NAACP meeting? Come on now. That's Democrats. I have not always, now, I can't say I have not always. Let's just say we don't have a lot of that from the Republican side. At least they have passed legislation in our favor to help us, to support us in the past. And I think so going forward now in the future, right? Because at the end of the day, we have a Republican president right now that is saying, hey, we know y'all major stakeholders and players up in here, right? That's what OG Trump's saying. He said, I know y'all got equity up in here. I know you have assets. I'm ready for the golden age. Y'all want to be a part of the golden age? Americans. I'm Americans first, he says. Who's Americans? Who's Americans first? We are the freedmen. The Black American Negro freedmen are the Americans first. I'm all down for that. So anyway, and we know also, if you all don't know, I'll post it with this as well on YouTube. Former President Bush, Jr., right, literally stated, and he reiterated, I should find it. He's reiterated that he is all for making the wrongs right of the government, right? And he was, they asked him specifically at the time about reparations. Now, I'm saying all that to say is that you do have allies on the Republican side. You have a sitting president that is your ally right now. What are you going to do? Because I'm all about policy. Bump the party. But he's an ally. And I keep hearing others deflect from the fact that you have right now an administration that we can talk to and remove the politicians because they're not going to talk for you. It's us. It's us that have to be at the table, the grassroots, right? And we need to make sure that we go sit at the table and talk with President Trump. That's where I'm at, and his administration, on what it is we want for our people, our collective, and push that policy for us. And don't go at it as if you're operating at a deficit, because the conversation with these other beings is you are at a deficit and you can't get nothing. Whoa, 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 reel it back, reel it back, reel it back. Any and everything here is ours. I'm going to say it again. Any and everything in America is ours. And we got a sitting president that knows you are a major stakeholder. How everybody else come over here, they ain't got no equity in this country. They're not stakeholders of this country, but they can get what they want, and we're not supposed to be able to get what we want. And that's why I started out with that 14th Amendment. You in the Constitution. You being acknowledged everywhere as being American, the American. And you think I'm going to denigrate myself or devalue our equity or our capabilities, or devalue who we are as a founding population of this country, and say I have to operate on this level and everybody else can operate on this level, and they ain't even did nothing for this country? What's wrong with people? Like, why would I look at myself or my people as being the lowest of the low in this country when we are the wealth of this country? We are the first stock of this country. We have multiple inventions that have developed and advanced this country. The immigrants don't have that. I'm just saying. I mean, I got really pissed off. And I kind of went into a whole nother zone, because the psyops that is coming, the psyops of our own people, that they're now operating in ideology that stifles our advancement, and the fact that they think that this ideology is the best way to move us forward, it's not going to help us. And I'm seeing it from the Democratic side, and I'm seeing it from the Republican side, meaning our people, whether they're on the Democratic side or whether they're on the Republican side. They're operating, or they're thinking that we have to operate in a certain way, which is devalue ourselves and not acknowledge that we're major players in our country. I have issues with that. I have serious issues with that. To make it appear as if we have to operate in a different way from everybody else. And that different way is we have to constantly, continuously prove ourselves when we've already proven ourselves. This is ours. We did the work. We do the work. We've been doing the work. But everybody else is not doing the work, and they're reaping our rewards. They're reaping our opportunities. They're reaping our benefits. They're reaping our resources. They're reaping our capital. And now they want to reap our identity. Now they want to operate in our identity of Black, whether it's capitalized Black or whether it's lowercase Black. We know when we capitalize black, we mean, hey, this is our ethnicity, this is our ethnonym, we are black, right? Now, lowercase black, I take it is race. But at the same time, even race was created in America as to harm and injure who? The freedmen, that attaches you to what? The Constitution. As the who? Americans. I mean, like literally, one individual said, you know what? You can't use slavery in your reparations. But I said, wait a minute, it's First Amendment. He said, well, you only had 80 years. It was only 80 years if you look at when the country was founded. So what? It happened. There are harms. I'm like, oh my God, the mental psychological matrix that they would jump through, or hurdles that they will go to create barriers for us. For us. After all of what we've done, none of that mattered. I was told the freedman status, you can't use it. We have a sitting president right now that is challenging the interpretation of the 14th Amendment to clarify, and he literally states it's for the descendants of, or the babies of slaves, descendants of slavery. But we can't use the freedman status, a legal status. So when they created the bill and created the Freedmen's Bureau, you can no longer, that's past. That's the past. You can't use it now. But wait a minute. We have a sitting president that is utilizing the Alien Sedition Act right now. Is he not? 1790, they allowed him to go back to the 1790 Alien Sedition Act. Wait a minute. He's using the Monroe Doctrine. And you gonna tell me we can't use freedmen? This is what I'm talking about, how we have it on both sides of the aisle, where we have some mental gymnastics. People are mentally enslaving themselves. They're literally mentally enslaving themselves to cause any kind of barriers for our people, so that you don't prosper, or you don't retrieve what is yours. Because I said we're gonna take it. It's ours. We should not have to fight for what is ours in our country when we already saved this country multiple times. Plus, again, we're integral. You just heard it from the president. He sees it. He knows it. He acknowledges it. What in the world is wrong with us with not acknowledging that? And taking advantage of that opportunity that is being presented to us today to push policy specifically for our people, so that we retrieve our resources for us and our offspring and our descendants. Has nothing to do with immigrants. Nothing to do with immigrants, legal or illegal. And then the fact that they're now over here operating in our identity and then telling us we're not deserving of what is ours. Do y'all know how crazy that is? Because that's what's happening right now. We have immigrants on this soil. I'm going to show it to you, that are telling us that, oh, you've been replaced. We getting what's yours. And you know what I tell them? You're going to have to fight us and shed blood over here, honey. You think you just going to waltz up over here and just, we're not going to do anything, and you just going to operate in our identity, and you just going to say you black and take what is ours? Oh, no. Them Democrats have helped you to get this far. And if you got some Republicans over there helping you get that far, we're going to fight them too. I'm all about policy for my people. for my descendants. When I look at what for what's mine is the collectives as well, right? Because we are a group of people, ethnic group of people, a founding population of this country. So anything that is American and what is here is all of ours. And I have to say, Dr. James West stated that he even said he noticed that a great deal of us harm our own people. For what? All of this is ours. Everybody can win. It's not just some winning, everybody can win. This is for all of us, our ancestors. My ancestors sacrificed. Hey, I got 3 generations military in my family. Straight up military. Once the military opened up, they straight right there. My father served almost 40 years. His father served, I think, 5-10 years, something like that. My granddaddy served on my mother's side, served in World War II. I got uncles that went to Vietnam. You're not going to come here and tell me that we're not deserving of anything in our country and that you get to get all of what is mine because you ain't did nothing. Right? Because that's what's happening. Okay, the other thing I'm gonna have to show y'all is I love Miss Maya Angelou when she has the poem "Still I Rise," because I hear a lot of these immigrants tell us because we are slaves, we were slaves, we don't deserve anything. These are people coming to our soil, y'all. You hear me? This is real. This is real. They're telling us that they coming over here and did nothing for, have done nothing for America, and saying that they coming to get what is theirs. And nothing here is theirs because they haven't put any work, time, energy into it to receive anything. And most of them right now are being unjustly enriched off of our backs. Let's be real about what's happening right now. That's where I'm at. That's why I was like, we got to talk. We got to talk about this. The opportunities that these beings are receiving right now are the opportunities that our ancestors fought for us and their descendants, their offspring, not for others to come here and just take it or be acknowledged as if they are the descendants when they're not the descendants. Right? Okay, so I wanted to find Maya Angelou's poem, Still I Rise, but here we go. It says, you may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Okay, just like the moons and just like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Oh, I love this, y'all. I love this poem. I love it. 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 But anyway, I just wanted to do a little excerpt of that because we have to understand that we are a great people. And there are many, many that can recognize we are great people, except for some of us. And I think a lot of it is the indoctrination of being around beings that basically try to brainwash you. Also, there's been a lot of abuse. And you all know I've gone over how the domestic violence wheel, especially with the Democratic Party, is in play right now. That's what they use on us. Now, I'm not a Democrat, but I'm just saying that is what they're using on our people. Is this power control wheel. They intimidate you, blame you, they're using, trying to get to your children. They any and everything they can do to psychologically hinder you from really looking at the bigger picture or seeing yourself as an American in this country, a major stakeholder. We are major stakeholders in this country. Any and everything here is ours. Any and everything. And you know what? We need to shut it down with policy that is specific for our people. Right? How you doing, Cash? Cal Cash, how you doing? We gotta make sure our people understand what the play is right now. I don't even care. I mean, I'm saying it doesn't matter if it's a Republican side or the Democrat side. We need to be loud about the policy and agenda we want for ourselves right here, right now, with this president, with this administration. And forget about any of these politicians representing you. Even though you voted for them, they're not representing you on either side. On either side. They're not representing you. Okay? So the deficit mindset and mentality is not going to get us into our future of the golden age. Trump talking about making money, honey. This is a capitalistic nation. It's time for us to make sure we get that capital and those resources too. But if you got a deficit mindset that you got to operate differently from everybody else, while everybody else come in here on top of you and take what is yours, and you got to sit at the table and act a certain way, no, you go take it. Hey, here's how we know. This is what I was attempting to explain to them. You have the Constitution that leads the nation, or leads this country, right? Everything operates under the Constitution. So we have the 14th Amendment. We're not being protected. But okay, we know that. We know we're not being protected. We know we're not full whole citizens, because how is if we're full whole citizens, we should have our land, we should have our businesses, we should have our towns, right? Now, one individual said, "Well, you can do that. You can have that." Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We can have that. And we had it. Right? Our ancestors had that. They didn't get no government assistance building all these towns, right? Allensworth, California. He served. He literally served and went and built a town, and they destroyed it, right? So wait a minute. Now I still got to go beg for something that is mine. You can prove via stats today that we're being disparity studies that people that have not contributed anything to America are coming here, getting under affirmative action, and going to Harvard University as in our identity after what we worked for. Our ancestors worked for that during the civil rights to rectify Jim Crow. And now everybody else is still minorities, receiving all of our resources and benefits, and then at the same time trying to tell us we are not worthy. Y'all, I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing this game. No, we're not. No, this ain't no real, this is done deal. We already showed many a times who we are and what we're deserving of. And then we're major stakeholders in America. We get our piece of the pie. Period. The rest of them need to be bootstrapping. Right? So I'm gonna shout out Clarence Thomas. I'm gonna make him my Black History Month event, Black History Month person tomorrow. I'm shouting out Clarence Thomas because Clarence Thomas done let us know Freedmen, 14th Amendment. Utilize it. Because all these other people coming under race, black, the small b black, they ain't freedmen. They can't be freedmen. They can never be a freedman. Oh, but wait a minute. We got the Democratic side. Oh, you can't use freedmen. Anyway, okay. Okay. So this leads me into the last part, and I'm gonna get ready to shut it down. You got the Black identity politics. And the psychological impact that they're pushing on us, right? To make us accept beings that are not a part of our collective under our identity. So then they can just come right in and take and say that they have been a part of America just as long as we've been a part of America. And I do hear that from some of them too. Right. So you got where uh let's talk about Westmore. Let me go find Westmore. Let's see. Let me go find. Let me go here. I'm gonna have to share my screen. Let's find out what Westmore is talking about. You know, Westmore identifies as Caribbean, but we got people here that are saying, "Oh, you know what? Before we go to Westmore, let's do the elder. I'm gonna show y'all this elder. I was so happy to be on a call with him yesterday, where he and his daughter are working in technology. She is working AI in healthcare. I'm in healthcare as an advocate for my people. I look at this as a part of our healing policies for us specifically, whether it's reparations or policy for us and our sustainability, because basically, you all, they're trying to get rid of us and give everything of ours to everybody else so they can. That's not going to happen on my watch. I have grandchildren. My grandchildren will have children. I honored him, right? February the 13th. This is our elder James E. West, an acoustician. He co-invented the electric microphone in 1962. I think I said that right? Acoustician. And so while working at Bell Labs, he did talk about how even at Bell Labs that they attempted to make sure all of the Black people came together and helped one another to prosper in that environment, and continue to innovate. And I can appreciate that. But that's him today, and that's him back there in the day in 1962 working. Now, he has many patents, 250 patents for the production and design of the microphone. This is what I'm talking about. These microphones are what you're utilizing right now in your computers, on your tablets, your cell phones. I think they even put them in hearing aids, your earbuds, right? This is a living elder that is a part. Even Dr. Mark Dean is still living too. I have to put that out there. He's co-inventor of the PC computer and the peripherals. So he's still out here too. And he's still doing work. I think I saw where he was doing work on the brain and how, they are trying to make it more. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Your necessite, right? When they do these robots. So Dr. Mark Dean is still out here doing this work too. But Dr. West was on the call yesterday, and he was giving us nuggets and words of wisdom. And I was just so excited that his daughter is also in the business. This is what I'm talking about. The value we add to America, right? We didn't just drop off and go nowhere. We here. We here to stay too. We're not going anywhere because they want us to leave. They keep trying to tell us we African. We know. If we were African, then why is Africa don't have any superpowers? Why Africa don't have any first world nations? Anyway, we're new humankind. We're doing something different over here in America. We have made America one of the greatest nations, superpowers in the world. You heard it from the president. But let me go back. I'm gonna go back here, and I'm gonna show y'all this. I know this young lady, Bianca. I'm gonna scroll down because she's gonna be mad at me because that picture of her in this when I snapped it. But anyway, I'm gonna share my screen to show y'all. I was on the call with Dr. James West yesterday, and I was so thrilled and so excited. Living legend. And then his daughter is carrying on in his footsteps, right? Okay, so just a bit. There he is. Dr. James West, and that's his daughter right there on the left. So, yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna stop just so I wanted you to see that. But I want to go back to, we want to talk about Westmore. Westmore lying, right? He's the governor. You all, this is Black identity politics. This is Black identity politics. Westmore has lied about his history, his bio, and now he's literally going up against the president. Right? He's going up against the president now, talking about it's not his fault with the sewage pipe because it's on federal land. Oh, let me show you. But this is supposedly someone that claims that they're Black. And that, he's bi ethnic, supposedly. Not a freedman. Not a freedman. Freedmen aren't by ethnics, you all. We don't have any ancestors that wave flags of other nations. You heard it from the president. We are patriots of this land. But this is what right now, when we play Black identity politics and others are coming over, immigrating to this country and operating in our identity. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We got some that we need to make sure we tighten up and get them up off amongst us, whether it's on the Republican side, whether it's on the Democrat side. But there is a concerted effort on the liberal side to make sure that others are operating in your identity. Okay, let's listen to this.
I know that everybody has seen the president's tweet about the sewage pipe spill. It is riddled with insults, but it's also riddled with massive inaccuracies. It is worth time to actually be able to correct the record and to talk about accurately what actually happened and what's been done. As you might know, on January 19th of 2026, a section of the Potomac sewage line collapsed near the Clara Barton Parkway and I-495. But the president's tweet actually failed to mention a few things. First, that for the past century, the federal government has been responsible for the Potomac interceptor. The sewage pipe out is on federal land. And over these past 4 weeks, the Trump-Vance administration has failed to act.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing that. Right? Okay. He's a part of the Democratic Party. What happened to Biden and Harris taking care of that? What were they doing? Taking care of illegal immigrants. Right? They making sure they got the illegal immigrants over here instead of taking care of the infrastructure of America. And he now wants ICE. He's going against the president to make sure ICE, he doesn't want ICE. He made a law that he doesn't want ICE to come in anymore into those areas of Maryland. Come on, you all. This is the identity politics that we cannot afford to have others operating in our identity, destroying America. They're destroying America, y'all. This is our homeland. We ain't going nowhere. We have nowhere else to go. I'm just saying. Get it. We got to get it right. Get the policy. Got to get the policy for us. Midterms are coming up. What are you going to do? We would like for more people to run for office. Our people, freedmen. I'm partial. I will say I am partial. I'm partial to the Republican Party at this point in time, but I will say, because I'm radical Republican, but I will say, and I also want to get rid of the Democrats because basically they created all of this chaos. they've created and facilitated all of this madness in this country right now. Right? So I'm just saying, at this point in time, we need to make sure we are front and center and taking over in our areas. Because it's ours. No one is going to care more about our homeland and who has fought the most for this homeland, our country, than us. So I want to put this out from Ms. Shack, Dr. Nichols. I'm pushing it out to everybody. You in Georgia, okay? The GOP is saying, hey, we're recruiting Black conservatives. Come on over. And I know someone said, oh, you're going to need money. Well, you know what? That was what the beginning of the conversation I was having with those individuals and talking about us doing the work. We already know, right? Certain things are going to happen in the midterms. I believe in the midterms for Chicago is definitely going to flip red. Definitely going to flip red. They've been doing the work, and they are Republicans. So they definitely need some moolah. Everybody else can get money, but us, what's up? What's up? What's up with that? Come on, Republicans, GOP. Make sure they getting that money. You get what you want. We already know we can do this work. We already done show what we can do. We show the world what we can do 20 times over. Right? Yeah. Yes. They always tethering to us. You're right, Cal Cash. They're always tethering to us, getting our votes, and they get their numbers up. And what do? They take care of their people. Now, we are stars in this country. We should make sure 24/7 we taking care of our people. And we have to delineate. There's no way we cannot, at this point in time, we cannot continue to move in the direction that we're going and claiming everybody is a part of us, when at the end of the day, they have their own separate groups, their own separate organizations. And then at the same time, they're claiming that they're Black, operating in our identity, retrieving our capital, retrieving our resources, and they want to claim our accolades. And all these opportunities are for our people, that our people have already fought for, died for, worked for our people, the freedmen, right? This is nobody else's. So I just wanted to make it known. You have a sitting president right now. We all need to be coming together and making sure the push policy for us, specifically for us, considering the interpretation of the 14th Amendment. We can just align everything, all the health disparities. We can align and look at all the loans, the SBA loans that was going to green card holders, immigrants, period, legal and illegal. But look at the percentage of what we were receiving, right? What have we received? I can go look at my state budget and look at how much money has been allocated for our businesses and under African American, and you will find a very small percentage. But then when you go and you see the minority line item, you go and look at the minority line item, and it's money, lots of money. And who is it going to? All of the other immigrants and white women, but it ain't coming to us. I said ain't. Yes, I did. I said ain't. It is not coming to us, the Americans that have are stakeholders in this country, that are written into the Constitution. So everything here is ours, right? Your president has told you, we know you are major stakeholders. You have equity here. You have assets here. And we need to make sure we get any and everything that is ours. So I'm pushing policy, and the policy I'm pushing you all is that we actually delineate ethno-aggregate, aka separate from all of these beings, meaning we recreate, reconstruct our Freedmen Affairs, a borough of Freedmen Affairs on a national level within our American government. You have the native tribes, Amerindians, they have the Bureau of Indian Affairs. We need to make sure we have the Bureau of Freedmen Affairs. And under the Bureau of Freedmen Affairs, we have all of our different divisions. We have our Division of Health and Human Services. We have our Division of Education. We have our departments, divisions, or civil rights, any and everything, trade and patent, research and development, land, right? What? Hey, I got a whole org chart. Whole org chart. It's already set up. This is the policy. We want to push a reconstruction bill for the freedmen. That's the policy. And we need to get together and make sure we have beings that are willing to work with us on this policy moving forward as a part of our delineation. And a part of that delineation is we got to make sure the OMB understands that we're American origin. We're not a Black racial groups of Africa. We're not African. And guess what, you all? We got data for that. There's been research since 1896 that states that we are a new humankind. They have measured our brains, our limbs, our bodies, everything. And they know we are different from Africans. They also know that we are different from, of course, the Caucasians. But we have Caucasian DNA. Jasmine Crockett, yes. I never believed she was Black American. Never believed it. Oh, foster child. Well, you know what? Ooh, certain people and certain behaviors, that energy, you got to go with it. Our ancestors talking to us. They letting us know. Right? So I'm putting it out here, you all. The policy is we making sure we delineate, ethno-aggregate, and we can do that via the Bureau of Freedmen Affairs, a reconstruction bill that we can fight for, lobby for, make sure that we are informing our senators, our Congress people, that this is where we're going. This is where we're headed. We are not Black, just one big Black Negro or all Black people where any and all these other melanated beings can come here from Africa, the Bahamas, Jamaica, whomever can come here and stake a claim and say that they are us and retrieve all of our resources and our capital and our opportunities. No. They don't have any, they're not stakeholders in America, first and foremost, and they don't have any equity here, and they don't have any assets. They're not an asset here. They got the bootstrap. Get the freaking frack up out of here. We bootstrap, our ancestors bootstrap, and they fought wars. So yeah, I got hyped over the conversation, you all, and I had to come bring it. It made it perfect for speaking about it today on policy and how we're moving forward. And we need to be speaking to this president and this current administration about how we want things for ourselves, specifically for ourselves. And it aligns perfectly with the 14th Amendment. So I really don't think there could be a no. The only thing I say is let's start negotiating on that. Lay it out, give them the proposal, and let's start negotiating that. Right? Trump says it's the golden age. Let's get that money, y'all. This is a capitalistic nation. We're stakeholders. I'm going to keep repeating it. We are stakeholders. We are not operating at no deficit. We don't have to go beg for what is ours. We just go take it. Right? Now, I get it. People say, oh, there's a certain way you got to do business. We get it. We doing it a certain way. But what I keep hearing from both sides of the aisle is you still need to prove yourself. You still need to prove yourself. But yet, these immigrants aren't proving, they ain't proving nothing. They waving flags of their nations on this soil, and they ain't did nothing for America. They just got here. I wish I could play. Let me see if I could find this one more video. Dang, hold on. I want to find this one video. If I can find this, I think this would, y'all will understand what I'm talking about when I say that the immigrants are coming here telling us they not gonna wait. They not gonna wait. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Wait for what? You should be bootstrapping because nothing here is yours. They not gonna wait. They coming to take what's ours, y'all. Everything here, they talking about they American. They more American than us. So therefore, they can get whatever we got. And they ain't even work for it. No work, no time, no energy put into anything, but they coming over here staking a claim like it's theirs. Come on, y'all. You got to wake up. You got to wake up. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this video. I'm gonna play this one last video, and then I'm only so I can get y'all hype. I'm losing my voice too because I was debating with them, and you can't debate with some of these people because, honey, their voices rise, and then you get caught up in the moment, and your voice is rising too. So I have to admit. Okay. Oh, I found it. Okay. We're gonna play this. Let me see. Hold on. That's one for the descendants. Oh, here we go. Let me show y'all this. I'm going to play this for you all, and then I'm going to get ready to shut it down. But I will say I had a great time again at the White House. I would like to go back to the White House and sit at the table and start negotiations for our policy. That's where I'm at right now. Yeah, I'm ready for us to get ready to make sure we push some policy for the freedmen, specifically for the freedmen. No one else. No one else. I think it's very important for us to hear this.
The message that we have been giving to our community, more than 100,000 members that we have right now, is that we don't want to wait because we want to have our house, our businesses. We want to contribute. We want to be able to provide some wealth and transfer this wealth to our kids because that's the reason why we came here, not to be patient.
I'm going to replay it one more time. He could barely speak English.
The message that we have, more than 100,000 members that we have right now, is that we don't want to wait because we want to have our house. We want to have our businesses. We want to contribute. We want to be able to provide some wealth and transfer this wealth to our kids because that's the reason why we came here, not to be patient.
All right. Y'all heard that, right? They come here, they telling you, the Americans, they want a piece of the pie. Sorry. But yet here we are, right? Our ancestors fought and had a bank with major millions of dollars in it during that time to invest for their people and their descendants, and it was corrupted, and they never put it back into the community. Never put it back into the community in the Freedmen's Bank. Right? Took their money, never put it back. And now you got immigrants coming over here talking about we want, so our descendants can have an inheritance. Yeah, we standing on freedmen business. Yes, sir. We stand strong in New York. I hope you. I know some people in New York, and they saying it don't look good that y'all are outnumbered already in New York. That's crazy. And a lot of them are illegal or immigrants, and they're receiving all kinds of additional benefits. Wait a minute. See, you taking me on a whole nother tangent, because there was a young man in a video talking about this on TikTok. He talks about how they get all of these different, yes, they're getting all of these different benefits. And we are, the Americans that have we're supposed to be stakeholders here. And all of our wealth has been plundered to immigrants. And now we got them coming in droves that are humiliated, claiming they are us and operating in our identity. Come on, y'all. We got to delineate. We got to push policy that's specific for us. And I do believe with this sitting president, we can get it done. We can get it done. And you know, of course, the young lady was saying, well, you got to go and lobby to Congress and things of that nature. Well, one of the things that I heard Trump say was in his speech at the White House is that some people came to him and he allied with them to pass the First Step Act. So if he allies with us, which he's already doing, and we present our proposal for Reconstruction, Freedmen Reconstruction Bill, he will most likely talk to his allies and help us push the bill forward. But we got to do some work. I get it. We have to make sure we're lobbying for ourselves via our Congress people, that, you know, via our states or whatever, our representatives via our states. But you all, I don't find that really challenging and hard, because we can send letters, we can do campaigns. There's so much we can do. I have a petition already started. I will make sure if you're out here on the Freedmen channel, you go up to the Freedmen channel. It's a link right there. I'll post it with this live as well, or with this recording. Sign the petition. It goes over the OMB and how we're delineating. It goes over establishing a Freedmen's Bureau, a Bureau of Freedmen Affairs. It goes over also how we are being designated as a Black racial group of Africa. We're Americans. We are the authentic, original Americans made on this soil. In the Constitution, we're not Africans. It's proven we're a new humankind. They know this. I got the research. Right? We also have a great deal of Caucasian DNA because of our chattel slavery. We have also native or indigenous, people call them Meridians DNA, because of also slavery, miscegenation, reclassification. So we're not African. And to have that on the census in America in this day and time, and then its race as well. We got policy, y'all. We got policy to push. Read over the petition. Anybody else have any ideas? Reach out. Let's get it going. Time is of the essence. We do not know who is coming in after Trump. We were at the Black History Month event. We were shouting 4 more years, 4 more years. We were shouting 4 more years because now it is evident the 2020 election was stolen from Trump. He was right. He was right. They stole the election. So let's make sure they don't steal midterms, and let's make sure they don't steal the next election. But in the meantime, in between time, we also need to work on policy specific for the freedom. Okay? And then we also make sure we enumerate our people. Because now, you know, people want to conflate everything and say that the recent arrivals or by ethnics are us too. No, they're not. I'm going to just say it. And I know people don't like it, but I'm going to keep saying it. I don't have any ancestors or elders from another country. All my people right here, made on this soil. They not. I don't have no people in my family that are Bahamians, Jamaican, Czechoslovakian. Now, I mean, we have some mixed race people in my bi-ethnics in my family, but overall, all of my ancestors, my mamas, on both sides, right? And besides of that ethnogenesis, now we ain't rolling like that. We don't have no ancestors like that. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. And it's the truth. So, all right, you all, with that, I had to come with it today and really express how both sides are playing us. So if you're not pushing policy for the people, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? We got to be pushing policy for our people because everybody else is coming here, getting into position and telling you that you don't deserve what is yours. And they're going to take it from you. He will be the last Ellis Island president. He may be. But you know what? I'm going to give Trump, again, I'm giving Trump his credit. Trump is all about Americans first. He understands being an American. Right? All right. With that, you all, I'm signing off. Until until next week. Let's see what happens. All right. All right. Love, peace, happiness, and reparations.